Our story begins at a fine arts high school. As you can see, it's a calm and classy place. All the students there are sensitive, emotionally aware, and well groomed. They start their day with smiles and visible positive energy. Everyone except G. While everyone else is in one world, G is in her own. She doesn't want to befriend anyone or talk to anyone because all that's on her mind is studying and nothing else. We then notice two female students whose role in the school is basically being a fan club for the students who are studying acting. Their gossip for the day is that a new girl is arriving. We discover that she transferred from a school in Japan, so naturally, she's Japanese. One of the girls starts telling her friend that there's a chance the new girl ran away after getting herself into some serious trouble. Maybe she caused a big disaster at her old school, or maybe she was bullied by her classmates. Their imagination runs wild, and they even guess that she could be the daughter of a gang leader, cutting traffic lights and carrying a knife, full-on crime boss vibes. They're convinced she transferred for these reasons, and nothing else. Of course, since they're dramatic girls, their minds go straight to these extremes. But reality is completely different. Standing in front of them is a beautiful, gentle girl who greets them cheerfully, saying, "Hi, cuties." We learn that her name is Hina. She introduces herself and tells them she's excited about Korean culture, K-pop, and Korean dramas that she's been obsessed with lately. The two girls who were just mocking her a moment ago stare at her in shock, as if thinking, "So this is what we were imagining?" They were literally just wondering what brought her to study in Korea. Hina reassures them that she's excited to make friends. The teacher, sensing her gentle emotions, explains that she felt Hina's enthusiasm. Meanwhile, Ji interrupts, telling the teacher she's been standing long enough and that it's time to let her sit since everyone already knows her. When Hina sits next to Ji, the two gossip-loving girls exchange looks, silently asking each other, "Wait, did Ji just smile? Or are my glasses dirty?" We cut to a flashback. Ji is leaving the tutoring center, and Yun, her boyfriend and classmate, is waiting for her with a surprise. He takes her bag from her and tells her that a top student like her shouldn't carry her own bag. The next day, she leaves the center, but doesn't find him waiting as usual. While walking, she calls him, but his phone is off. Then she hears his voice and sees him sitting and eating with Hina. Before Ji had even met her, Ji completely loses it. She confronts Hina, telling her that Hyun is her man, and that she won't let anyone take him away. She makes it clear that she considers him one of her belongings, grabs him aggressively as if he's nothing, and drags him away. Hyun asks her to wait so he can explain everything, but she refuses to listen, storms off like a speeding train, calls him a liar, and accuses him of deceiving her after telling her he didn't have a girlfriend. Hyun explains that Hina approached him because she was transferring from the Japan branch. Not only that, but because he always talked about Ji. Back in the present, we understand why Ji asked Hina to sit with her in class. Ji then walks Hina around the school, showing her the departments. They start with the directing department, where everyone is busy and fully immersed in the studio work. Next is the acting department, full of students living like stars. Finally, there's the management department. Basically, the students there will become managers for artists after graduation. We learn that Ji always ranks first in school. As they continue their tour, Hina notices a poster of a movie released years ago. The lead actor was a young boy, and she comments on how handsome he was as a child, and how he must be a huge star now. Ji confirms this and points him out, saying he's their classmate. His name is On. On is the most popular guy in school. Charismatic, confident, and completely aware of it. All the dramatic girls are obsessed with him. His group includes Sai, the kind and handsome one, and Owen, a social media star with 200,000 followers. G is the fourth member of the group. Of course, she praises On endlessly since he's her boyfriend, calling him charming, reliable, and handsome. Together, they're considered the top 4 guys in the entire school. Wherever they go, chaos follows. Girls screaming nonstop in an over-the-top frenzy. They meet Hina since she's close to Hyun and standing with Ji. We notice that Hina always carries a small teddy bear named Koza attached to her bag, which she never lets go of. Let's focus on, who's completely full of himself, living his life like he's one of a kind. The next day, when Hina arrives at school, she's fascinated by every little detail and takes lots of photos. While taking a selfie, she notices An appears in the picture with her. She's kind to him and tells him she's a fan. He responds coldly, saying her words mean nothing to him, since he hears the same thing from everyone. Later, while Hina is walking with Hyun, C comes up to them and says he's thirsty. Hyun asks how he knew Hina had water. C replies casually, "I've been observing her for a week. Her bag has everything you can imagine." We then see An receiving a gift from a fan, fast food meals. He casually hands them to his friends since gifts are normal to him and he doesn't care much. Hina is constantly amazed by everything. For example, when she sees Ji reading a book by a specific author, she says, "Wow, you read this author. You must be a genius." Ji explains that she always reads his work because his words guide her to execute her ideas without making mistakes. Hina asks if there's another copy of the book in the library. Ji tells her it's available, but only in Korean, not Japanese. Hina replies confidently that once she sets her mind on something, she'll make it work. While Hina is in the library skimming through the book to see if it's the one, C is there. He seems to like her and starts chatting with her. He pranks her by telling her to close her eyes, hold a book he picked, and wish for candy, and she'll find it in front of her. When she opens her eyes, the candy is actually there. He messes with her again, telling her to try it with pizza. When nothing appears, he laughs and tells her she's too innocent for believing everything. Later, the teacher divides the students into groups. Each team includes an acting student and a management student. She explains that while other schools have midterm exams, their school has midterm projects instead. She starts announcing the teams. Hina ends up with C and An. The moment An hears her name, he sighs. Assuming she's a newbie who will be a burden, he looks at her and asks if she came from a regular school. When she answers yes, he completely shuts down. The teacher scolds him and tells him to stop being arrogant and guide her properly. She also asks Ji to give Hina any quick information she might need. After class, Hina runs to Ji and tells her she's the only one she can rely on. Ji reminds her that it's a group project and tells her not to overwhelm her with questions so she can focus on her own project too. Later, the guys agree to meet at the basketball court. Hina tries to convince Ji to come watch, but Ji apologizes and says she has training and that studying is her top priority, which is completely logical and respectable. Hina, on the other hand, has endless energy. She makes a paper microphone and cheers loudly for the players. An tells her to calm down, saying they'll win no matter what. She pauses for a second, then continues cheering passionately anyway. After the match ends, C takes Hina with the others and tells her he'll show her their secret practice spot. When she enters, she discovers they've prepared a surprise party to celebrate her joining the school. She stays with them, which is why she didn't go to watch the match earlier. At that moment, An walks in, unaware of what's happening. Accidentally, he bumps into Hina. Owen is filming and captures a photo of him without meaning to. We cut back to a flashback in Japan. A student is being questioned at school about an incident where a classmate harmed herself and died. The investigator asks her about Hina, reminding her that Hina was very popular at school. Suddenly, the girl snaps angrily and nervously, saying that Hina is the worst person she's ever seen. Back in the present, we focus on the look in Hina's eyes and her happiness over what her friends did for her, while An, annoyed, asks them, "What the hell are you guys doing all of this?" Ji asks what brought him here now, wanting to know from Hyun if they hadn't told him. Hyun replies that he left him completely in the dark because if he had told him anything, he would have gone straight home and wouldn't have stayed for the celebration. Hina thanks all of them for going through the trouble and for thinking of doing something that would make her happy, even though they still don't know her that well. She also explains that this is the first time anyone has ever done something like this for her. C, surprised, responds, "The first time? I thought you were famous already." Assuming she must have lots of friends who love her, Hina gets embarrassed and presses the little bunny keychain on her bag. Sensing the awkwardness, Sai warmly welcomes her to their school and their group. Overwhelmed with happiness, Hina's eyes fill with tears. As for An, he thinks there's no need for all this drama. After that, they sit with her and ask about her favorite Korean landmarks, food, and movies. She accidentally blurts out the name of the movie, An, starred in as a child. Immediately, he starts showing off, crossing his legs, acting superior, with a "this is normal for me" attitude. Owen mocks him playfully by imitating him. Later, out of boredom, they play rock, paper, scissors, and the slowest one has to clean up the food trash. The choice falls on Hina and Sai. Since Hina is always prepared, she pulls a big bag out of her backpack to collect the trash. Afterward, she and Sai walk together and chat a little. He asks her what made her transfer to their school. She tells him she likes management, because business managers are the closest people to artists, and she loves that world. She explains that her best friend dreams of becoming an actress, and because she loves her so much, she wants to stay by her side, support her, and manage her work as she achieves her dream. C is impressed by her words and tells her that he joined the school in a very casual, ordinary way. Then something sweet happens. Hina notices that his sneaker lace is untied, bends down, and ties it for him. C freezes, completely flustered, wanting to tell her that he should be the one doing that, not her. She confidently tells him that in the future, she'll become someone he won't be able to do without. Of course, she means it professionally, him as an actor and her as his manager, but poor emotional C takes it in a romantic way. The next day, after school ends, their friends leave, and An C and Hina walk together alone. While waiting for the bus, Hina tries to pass the time by asking questions like, "How long have you been friends? What do you like to eat? What don't you like?" An replies irritably, saying she talks too much and that he's not in the mood to answer her questions. She calmly explains that a manager has to know everything about the artist they manage. C, being kind-hearted, answers her questions instead, so she won't feel embarrassed. At the same time, Hyun is with Ji, thanking her for supporting Hina and not holding back any information, even though Ji doesn't like having friends. Ji explains that she focuses on her future and always wants to be first, which is why she doesn't want anything to distract her. Of course, her relationship with Hyun is an exception. She also tells him that sometimes girls pretend to be friends with you while secretly wishing for your failure. Hyun advises her not to think that way, saying there's nothing wrong with falling sometimes, and that it's normal for everyone. Ji then asks him to leave before her mother sees him, because if she notices him walking her home, it won't end well. We move to An, who tells Sai that he's going to the laundromat, and asks if he wants him to wash his sneakers too. C panics and rushes after him, insisting, "No, leave them. I'll wash them myself." We realize that the emotional guy doesn't want anyone touching the sneakers simply because Hina tied the laces. Looks like he's about to put them on display and treat them like a treasure. Later in class, the teacher advises them to pay attention to trending hashtags that get views. She asks the students to post daily content, similar to what idols do, and emphasizes that any account with high views and followers will be classified in the top tier. She specifically tells Ji to post at least 2 videos a week and not to give up if the views aren't great at first. On the other side, there's a student who mutters resentfully, wondering why the teacher directs most of her advice toward Ji. The teacher then instructs everyone to create their accounts this week and not be lazy. We see the teacher call Ji to her desk and inform her that she's late on paying the school fees, hinting that she should talk to her mother about it. Embarrassed, Ji says her mother must have forgotten and didn't mean to delay, apologizes, and leaves. Outside, Ji starts to text her mother, but stops herself and deletes the message. Their relationship has been tense lately. When Ji returns to class, Hina speaks honestly, but at the worst possible time. She says things like, "You're so lucky. You don't have problems like me." This reflects how many people judge others based on appearances without knowing the struggles they hide. Hina explains that she's scared because of her lack of experience and worries that An and C will get annoyed with her. Ji helps her by suggesting she post a photo of each of them. Once fans see the pictures, the likes will rain down on her account. But Hina wants a more eye-catching idea that really highlights An and Sai. Ji generously suggests filming daily life videos of them and posting those, explaining that this will significantly boost views. Hina thanks her and says she'll start right away. Later, Hina sits alone, researching how to create professional, entertaining videos that upload quickly on social media. When she finishes and heads back to class, she's surprised by 3 girls blocking her path, led by Maya, the leader of An's fan club. Maya tells her she's a fan of An. Hina replies casually, "Okay, so what do you want me to do?" trying to walk past them, but Maya and her friends stand like a wall. Maya points out that since Hina is in the management department, Why is she always with On? She asks her to take a photo with him and include it in her project. Her life's dream is for the whole school to see them together. Hina doesn't understand why Maya doesn't just take the photo herself and get it out of her system. Maya explains that On doesn't like dating or love stories. And more importantly, there's no chance she could get close to him because of her terrible academic level, which landed her in the fan club instead of the spotlight. To get rid of them, Hina agrees. Later, she's sitting in their interview room and asks On to let her take a photo of him. He doesn't understand why until he notices Maya and her group standing on the rooftop, and immediately figures it out. He tells Sai that he's going to take care of something important and will be back shortly. We see On approach Maya. The moment she sees him, she gets nervous and tries to look her best. He talks to her and reminds her of G, back when she first joined the management department. We flash back and realize Maya did the exact same thing to G, but G is strong and untouchable. She rejected Maya outright, telling her to leave her alone because she has more important things to do. Maya tried her usual cheap intimidation tactics, but G immediately called, "There, teacher," and reported that the fan club members were in the management building, which is against school rules. Terrified, Maya ran away with her friends. Back in the present, On takes Hina's phone and takes a photo with her, telling her that she got what she wanted and not to bother anyone else's followers. He threatens her that if she doesn't stop what she's doing, he'll bring G back as his manager again. When he returns and sits with Hina and C, they agree that they should film funny videos with a bit of charisma. Hina explains that she discovered through YouTube algorithms that videos with lots of likes and comments get boosted quickly to their demographic. When On gets annoyed and tells her to forget it, he's not doing funny videos. She snaps, drops her sweet tone, and gets angry at him without realizing it. When she notices On and C staring at her in shock, she quickly switches back to being gentle, calmly explaining that they're one team and that everything she's suggesting is for their benefit. Sai then tells them they should start working right away. We see the three of them heading out together, filming content as they go, in a gentle, friendly way, and while they're standing in a beautiful spot, Hina suddenly gets an idea. She starts filming C while he's talking and asks him to continue naturally, telling him she's just recording a test video. When she realizes the video is turning out really well, she keeps filming and then moves the camera to On while he's talking. She stays focused on filming until she almost trips, but C catches her in time. After that, they go to eat. Hina keeps the camera on, recording everything they do. Later, we see her sitting alone, editing the videos and writing titles for them. She makes a separate video for On and another one just for Sai. Then something completely unexpected happens. Their videos blow up. The views skyrocket, going through the roof. Hina runs excitedly to On and Sai to show them. On is asleep, but C comes over and watches with her. They see that the views are coming from the United States, Thailand, and many other countries, not just Korea. That alone is a huge achievement for Hina, proving her skill in showcasing the students she works with as a management major. This is where part 1 ended. To watch the second part, please like the video and subscribe channel.